last 20 games. Everything those guys just said is BS. I predict none of your predictions. Who's doing this producing, RD? I think we see who good teammates are.
It's hard to be right, but somebody's got to.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ESPN College Game Day live from the 17 O'Connell Center in Gainesville, Florida.
Why did you have no faith in us, Larry? Why? Because we're always wrong. What have we been right? Speak for yourself. you know who hasn't been wrong? Very rarely been wrong. Auburn. They haven't been wrong very often. The only loss for the 17th time was to Florida. 5 of their 7 wins have come in double digits. They have rarely even been behind during this streak. 3 of those victories, wire to wire, averaged leading for nearly 33 and a half minutes of the game. They're not even falling behind, 6 to 4 in some cases. And Janai Broom has just been spectacular. 20 points, better than 10 and a half rebounds, handing out nearly 4 and a half assists. If you need a big shot, he seems to find it, and he has delivered time and time again for Bruce Pearl's team. And it's time now for the Wooden Watch, presented by a principal. And we've said it for a while, it's pretty much a 2-player race between Janai Broom and Cooper Flagg of Duke. You see how the odds have moved right now. Broom appears to be the favorite, and Broom to win it. He'd be the 3rd SEC player to win the award, joining Oscar Tshiebwe and Anthony Davis for more. Go to ESPN.com, but maybe a challenge on the road. Couple road games coming up for Auburn before they finish home against Alabama next week, and most notable is the challenge that Broom and the Tigers will have at Kentucky today, Jay. Yeah, this game is going to be about physicality, Reese, and Kentucky has to accept the physical challenge that Auburn is going to present. And Kentucky's going to have to be physical on blockouts. They're going to have to move bodies. They're going to have to be physical on catches. It's going to be combat zone to try to force Auburn's catches further out. And Kentucky's going to have to be physical on the offensive end. If they're not physical, their schemes don't matter. Their 5-out doesn't matter. Their splits on post catches aren't going to matter. It's going to be about physicality. Auburn is a really physical team. They like to switch things. So Kentucky's going to have to be alert to that with their slips. They like to top block. They're going to top block Kobe Brea. He's going to have to be prepared for that. And you're going to have to run through your cuts. And they're going to have to be physical from the opening tap if they want to beat the #1 Auburn Tigers.
And like JB just talked about, guys, is the physicality. I think is going to be important. When you think about Kentucky's 2-point defense that breaks towards the bottom third of the country, right? And Janai Broom averaging 21 points over the last 5 games. He's an absolute dog, and they play through him. And also, I think for Auburn, you have to run Kentucky off the 3-point line, because 37% of their points come from the 3-point line. Like, they have to play a prolific game, and I think their guard play has to be elite against their pressure set.
I agree with everything you said. I think it's going to come down to Williams and Broom. Because both of these teams, Kentucky plays through Williams, Auburn plays through Broom. They're both going to have the ball away from the basket in back downs and isolations. And if one of those guys can get the other guy in foul trouble, there is a problem. There is an absolute problem. So I think watching that matchup, that game we're going to get between those two, and then Oweh and Butler, they are dogs. All right, so the question is, can this Auburn team keep the biggest dog, which is Oweh, who scored the last 18 points against Oklahoma? It's the last 18 points against the place.
We'll be taking on the Texas A&M Aggie. Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
At the desk, do you let Broom and Williams go one-on-one against each other? If you're a coach on either side, you just let them go one-on-one.
If I'm Auburn, I'm doubling Amari Williams or trying to get the ball out of his hands, because I cannot afford Janai Broom to get in foul trouble. On the other side, I think that when you watch Kentucky play, they play man up. They're playing toast to the 3-point line right now, keeping everything in front, forcing contested shots. So they're shrinking the court pretty good anyway. But I can't leave Janai Broom on an island when Williams is backing people down.
Williams has the ball in his hands all the time.
Yeah.
He starts at the elbow.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. So would you go even double him when he starts to put the ball on the floor, only when he's backing down the post?
When he gets down to the post.
My thing is Auburn's defensive game plan, right? I mean, I remember watching this Florida team go into Auburn, and it looked like Auburn didn't even have a defensive game plan against this Florida Gators team. Florida hit 13 threes against Auburn on the road. And since then, because I think Auburn was a little pissed off after that game, since then, Auburn's three-point defense has been elite. They're giving up about less than 5 threes a game to their opponents. Kentucky's a team that can get hot from 3, so Auburn's defensive game plan is what's going to
I love the way you split that little Florida.
I gotta keep it crowded, Gabe. It's great. We were doing an online hit earlier, and they asked me, the guys, I was holding a little gator, and the guys were like, what do they eat? And all the crowd at one set. Yeah, exactly. That's like the crowd.
But none of you guys wanted anything to do with the bigger gator. Even you, and you are a snake.
I do have a pet snake, way different than alligators.
Yes, it is, because there's no reason to have a pet snake at all. But I will say that
Shed their skin.
We're taking a left turn, guys.
snakes and alligators, spectacular boots and belts. Aren't they? Only the full stuff. Speaking of,
Okay, we're done.
coaches have moved on. Utah moves on from head coach Greg Smith just under 4 seasons. Utah was 15-12 when he was fired. He was 3 games over 500 during his tenure in Salt Lake City. He won conference titles. Utah State, South Dakota's Pete Thamel joined us. Didn't quite get things going in Salt Lake City, though, Pete. And there will be a lot of coaching carousel news in the coming days.
Well, Reese, there's going to be plenty of company there. We already have 5 major conference openings on the coaching carousel right now. I expect that number to at least double going through the end of March here. Indiana is the obvious open market driver, and there's the potential of both Texas and Villanova opening, which would determine just how big of a cycle this ends up becoming. From talking to industry sources, Reese, there's chatter behind the scenes of just who's going to fill all these jobs. 14 power conference jobs open last year, and there's going to be intense competition to try to move power conference coaches. Remember, when you have that many jobs open, a lot of established coaches like Florida's Todd Golden won't be going anywhere because they have huge buyouts in order to leave. Right now, Reese, all eyes are on Indiana, and they have a choice philosophically to make in the upcoming weeks. Do they pay a big buyout to dislodge an established Final Four type coach, or do they hire an established mid-major coach and use that money in order to invest in the roster? The final conundrum hanging over this carousel, Reese, is going to be what schools like Arizona State, Oklahoma, and Minnesota do. Do they either pay a buyout to fire their coach or reinvest that money into their roster for 2025? That will ultimately determine how busy we are this March.
Well, it's really amazing how things have changed a little bit. It used to be about momentum. Now, a lot of times it is about making sure that you get big-time players, and Florida has plenty of them. The Gators getting set to take on Texas A&M tonight. We'll visit with this spectacular.
Yeah, Florida Gators will take on Texas A&M tonight. Oh, yeah.